Yes.
Great. Awesome. And you guys can see my screen? Great. So before I get into the agenda, please remember that you can ask us questions anytime during the presentation by writing in the chat, and we will answer all of your questions at the end of the presentation. Maybe some of you are familiar with One.com, or you've just started this journey with us. Don't worry, there will be valuable information for all of us, and there will also be special offers. I'm sure most of you are willing and enticed to start your online journey, especially with the new year around the corner. We will discuss where to start, what you should think about now that you've started this step, this exciting step, how to actually build a website. I mean, we will answer questions such as, do you have to know how to code to build a website? And finally, if you have your website up and running, how do you actually get visitors? So the agenda for today will be where to start, how to build a website, and how to attract visitors to your website. Where to start? There are 3 aspects that you need to be aware of when you first start taking a step into this online journey. Firstly, domain. You need to have a domain name. A domain name is the address of your website. So as an example, One.com is a domain name. I usually tell people to make sure to have a keyword in the domain name so that your visitors know what you're offering. If you can't or don't want to, I mean, for example, Adidas and Nike doesn't really say anything about what they're offering, that's okay. But then you need to be aware that you need to explain in other ways what you will be offering and what your website is actually about. Secondly, you need web hosting. Basically, that means you place your website on a server, or your web host places your website on a server. And this will ensure that your website is up and running and accessible to all your visitors at all times. There are several various types of web hosting. It all depends on the size of your website, whether you want to have a blog or an e-commerce website. And finally, a professional email. It's good to have a professional email because of course, you want to come off as professional. You don't want to reply to your customers from your personal email address. And you can also choose to have the same name as your domain name to keep it consistent. But now let's actually get into how to build a website from scratch. My colleague, Jesper Henriksen, will guide us. So it's over to you, Jesper.
Thank you, Las. So a quick introduction on me. So I'm a product manager here at One.com, which means I oversee one of our products, in my case, the website builder, and try to make it the best possible tool to help you build your websites. And I have some special areas of responsibilities. It's templates, the onboarding experience, any third-party components we have, so integrations into offering Instagram or Facebook components, YouTube, and so on. We have a dashboard also that will help you and guide you into how to next steps for building your site, the general guidance within the tool, and then just online success, which is anything around the tool helping you succeed and be found online. So I have 5 topics to get through. First is to when to pick the website builder, because there are multiple tools with which to build a website. The next thing is considerations before you start creating your site. The third one is to get started and how to build your site. And then finally, what to consider before you go live and make your website available to the world. And on the next one here, so at One.com, we have 2 offerings. We have WordPress and we have the website builder. And when to pick website builder is basically if you have no coding skills, or very few, or at least would not like to use them for your website. It's also very good if you want something that's fast and easy to use and that you do not have to maintain. It's a one-stop shop, which means that the website builder will contain everything you need in order to build your site. And it will also help you create a great looking site. We have a lot of pre-made content, and we have made it so that it's easy to make something that look nice without having to be a graphical designer. So basically, it's a very easy to use tool with a lot of user guidance, and is very good for beginners. So what to consider before you start? Well, the first thing, as Lars mentioned, is to find a good domain name, and that's typically where you would start. Perhaps that's something you already know. Then there are three main things to consider. One is conversion points, your competitors or your peers, and what should be on the site. So conversion points are typically what you would like your users to do. Do you want them to sign up for a newsletter? Maybe you want them to buy something. Maybe you just want them to see some information or click a certain button or so. And so this is basically the purpose of your site. How would you like your users to interact with your site? So there's something to think about there. Yes. So the next thing is the competitor research. In order to figure out how your site should look, you can look at your competitors or your peers. What do you like? What don't you like? And then find maybe a way to stick out. And the final thing is the site content. When you create your site, you often need more. You maybe need pictures. Maybe you want somebody to tell you about why your specific site is great. So all these things you can start gathering beforehand. And now you can continue to the next one. So in the website builder at One.com, we have a very easy onboarding flow. It asks you to do 5 things. State the name of your site, provide a logo if you have one, give you your contact information. All of these things will be automatically put on your website, so you don't have to fill these in. So contact information would be email, phone, and address. If you don't want to provide it, that's also fine. And then the next step would be choosing a template. We have over 180 designer-made templates, so that should be something for everyone. You can put in a few keywords describing what type of website you're making. Is it a bakery? Is it an association, a football club? What do I know? And then we will find the best templates out of those 180 for you, so you don't have to browse through them. You can also go in and browse through them if you want to. And then finally, you pick the color scheme. So we have over 40 color schemes you can pick from to have the website look in the colors that matches your brand the best, or your idea for your site the best. Once you've gone through this onboarding process, you're ready to build your site. And so you can go to the next one. And so this is how the tool looks. So it's basically what we call a workspace in the middle where you have your site. In here, you can interact with everything you see. So here you see a couple of buttons, a headline, a background image, and some text. And essentially, our templates are set up in a way so that all you need to do in order to publish your site is to replace the content, so the words and the images, with the ones that you would like to have. And then essentially, you're ready to go live. You might also want to add or remove some things because it might not be specifically what you want. If you want to add something, you can simply use the left-hand navigator. Can you go to the next one? So here I click the image. I want to add an image. And then I would select the image that I want. You see here that we also offer free images and even some from Shutterstock that you can purchase if you want to. And then you can drag it in. And so the next will show that. So in this case, I took an image that is free and I dragged it in. And you'll see here, it shows me where I'm about to place it. And if I then drop it, I skip one step here, which is selecting the actual image I want. But then I have it here on my site. And then you can see you can also go in and replace it and edit it if you want to. And in this way, you can continue and build up your site. Maybe just stay on that one for just a minute. And in this way, you can continue and build on your site, adding the things that you would like, removing the ones that you do not like, and replacing the content as you go along. So essentially, all you need to do in this case would be to replace the content with the content that you would like. And please continue to the next one. When you've done all that, you're ready to go live, almost. The most important thing to do before you go live is to test and test many times. You can publish your website, which means that it's accessible for other people. And I encourage you to do this early in the process and share it with your friends and peers and coworkers and get their feedback. And you should remember that there's also a mobile setup that you can use. So you actually have a website and layout for how it looks on the mobile and how it looks on your on the desktop, and you can change both of them. We have a cookie banner. Compliance is of course important to many people, which is why we have a professional cookie banner that you can add for free. And then finally, you would like to get found. And this can be done either by you sharing your website link through social media, newsletters, or wherever it is that you have an audience you can reach. But of course, another thing you can do, and the biggest thing that we'll talk about today, is search engine optimization, making sure that when people search for certain things on Google, your site will pop up as one of the top sites. And my colleague Lars will tell you a lot more about this.
Thank you, Jesper. My name is Lars Malagic, as I mentioned before. I have a BA in English Literature and Communications and an MA in English Literature and Media. And I work every day with SEO and content. You can see on the screen a little bit about my everyday tasks, like writing and optimizing content. But let's go into actually what SEO is. SEO, search engine optimization. How many times have you guys been at home or on a train or decided to Google something you've thought about, whether it is to buy an item or to solve a problem? Personally, I was recently invited to an ugly Christmas sweater party, and since I live under a rock, I don't own any ugly Christmas sweaters, so I decided to Google it, as you do, and I immediately visited the first organic website to see if anything was going to fall to my liking. And basically, this is SEO. The goal with SEO is to rank on the first page, preferably position 1 or 2. To get here, you must firstly post on your blog regularly, but more importantly, you need to write high-quality content. Let's dig deeper. There are 3 aspects to SEO. On-page, which is content, images, videos. There's off-page SEO, which is more when you've already started your website and now you're trying to get linked. And then there's the technical part, which we don't need to go into because the website builder has that covered. When you focus on on-page SEO, there are 3 aspects you need to focus on: user intent, keywords, and readability. User intent. What is the intent of the user? So if I search for an ugly Christmas sweater, what is my intent? Most likely, I want to buy an ugly Christmas sweater. If I instead search for what is an ugly Christmas sweater, then I most likely want to hear more about how the term came to and what it actually means to wear an ugly Christmas sweater at a party. So it's important to consider the user intent and to ensure that your content is created in a way that it answers the questions your users have. If it doesn't, the user will read the content, say, this is not really for me, it's not really solving my problem, and exit the page, which we don't want. I always say that you should write the answer on the first paragraph because you don't want to leave the reader frustrated trying to scroll and search for the answer. Instead, write it in the first paragraph and then encourage them to read the rest of the content. But more importantly, as I said, you're writing to make sure that your users get what they're looking for, and make sure that you answer that in your piece of content. Maybe the most important part of SEO is keywords. A keyword is just that, a keyword. So if I want to sell ugly Christmas sweaters, I just write ugly Christmas sweater throughout I can't keep saying ugly Christmas sweater, as you guys notice. It keeps, you have to keep writing ugly Christmas sweater throughout your content a few times so that Google can understand this is what the content is about. And hopefully when someone actually searches for that keyword, your page will be ranked number 1. There are generic keywords which have high search volume, keywords such as domain, hosting, and these are really hard to attain a number one spot on because there are a lot of competitors in this field. And then there's long tail keywords, which is more like how to build a website. What is an ugly Christmas sweater? And when I would suggest, since you're just starting off, that you should focus on long tail keywords and try to rank high for them, and then slowly move towards generic keywords. And remember not to have too many keywords in your piece. Don't shove it in your reader's face. I would suggest 3 to 5 keywords. And also remember that you can have several keywords that are related to each other in your piece. So for example, you can have how to build a website. What tools do I need to build a website? How much will it cost to build a website? These keywords are all within the same team, and it's okay to use them. And make sure that you add keywords in your meta title and meta description. Meta title and meta description is a small box of information on Google that's sort of like a summary of the piece you've written. It's what will make the readers click on your text or not, so make sure you add keywords there. I always suggest to write the keyword first in your meta title. So if the keyword is ugly Christmas sweater, the meta title should be ugly Christmas sweater. Choose your favorite one. So we should always start with the keyword, your title. And finally, you should have your keyword in your URL as well. With this, I mean, the URL of the page should be your website ugliest Christmas sweater. So we're just really trying to make sure that Google picks up that the content will be about ugly Christmas sweater. Finally, readability. Make sure, as I said, that you're writing high quality content that has tons of value. Don't be too academical or technical. Try to target every user who you think might be interested in your product. It's a way to establish credibility and trust. And the fun thing is you can do all of this without spending a penny. Include images, videos to try to engage your readers. Try to think of where it would be a good place to insert an image to give the reader a breather. Write catch header tags so that they feel like, oh, this is a nice paragraph that I do want to read. And lastly, remember, SEO takes time. It will take several months before you start seeing results, and that's okay. Just continue writing great content, research your keywords, and continuously optimize your content. Even if you've written it a month ago, just go back to it and see if you can change anything, if you can make it better, and you will get there. And that's what I had on SEO. And of course, as usual, just make sure to write all your questions. We will answer them. And I'll hand over to Odelena now, who will talk about Google Ads.
Thanks a lot, Las. If you could please go in present mode so that, because some of the text is hidden. So if you go just on the right-hand side, on the top corner, there are 3 dots.
Here?
Oops. No, the other
the 3
side.
dots. There you go.
Yeah, and then go to present.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
No worries. Okay.
I hope I haven't ruined it for everybody.
No worries.
But we will send out the presentation after this to everybody who signed up. So yeah.
No worries at all. Thanks a lot. And hello, everyone. I'm really glad to be here. My name is Odolena Kostova. I'm a partner success manager, so working at Google with partners like One.com. I'm based in London, where I'm joining from today, from my home. I joined Google in 2019, working with a variety of partners across Europe, Middle East, and even Africa. And before Google, I used to manage Google Ads for big educational companies. So I have kind of went through the ins and outs of Google Ads. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get ready for growth. So once now you've learned how to build a website, now you've learned basically how to do some organic improvements so that your website is ranking on Google organically. Now I'm going to lead you through some ideas on how to launch your first advertising campaign to help you drive more visitors. So first of all, what are Google Ads? So Google Ads are the top results on the page, which are labeled clearly with an ad banner. Underneath, you will see the organic results about which Laz was talking about. So basically, the advertisements would always appear on the first 2, 3, sometimes even 4 results, depending on the query and depending on how many advertisers they are as well. I will explain how Google selects which ads actually get selected to show up there. And also they will show on mobile devices, as you can see on the side. Okay, next slide. So why use Google Ads? Every day there are more than 6 billion searches that are made on Google search. And of course, ranking your website organically is important, but it takes time. And also, it is a project which you will need to work on continuously for the first 6 months to 1 year once you launch your first website. So ads can help you and supplement actually the organic results. So you can show in the organic results and also have an advertisement on the top of the results. So once people are comparing prices, getting directions, or just learning about something new, they start with Google. So that's why this is good to appear as many times as possible in the search results. Next one. Also, we've based this on some research. This study was done actually in Germany, and it shows you, let's say, the heat map of the search page results. And 54% of the view time is spent on average on the top 3 position, which happen to be ads. And also on smartphones, you can see that the time spent on paid results or advertisement is much more than on organic, because they will occupy even bigger space on the search results on mobile. Not all searches trigger ads, so sometimes there are searches where there would not be advertisements coming at all. But when they are, advertisements tend to take a lot of space on the search results. Also, next slide. We found out that the first position is associated with strong brand. So 63% of users found that this is usually typically a well-known brand. 51% think that it's a popular brand, and 47% think what's very important is think that this is a relevant brand. And I will show you actually why Google Ads are not. Yeah, go to next slide. Google Ads are not only results that are paid by advertisers, but they are also extremely relevant to the searches of what people want to find out. So we make sure that basically it is a combination between bidding, let's say, deciding how much you want to pay for your ad, and also the quality of your ad and how well it is answering what the user is looking for. So it all starts with the search query. Please go back to the slide. It all starts with a search query. Google creates search engine results based on keywords, which I'm going to show you, which you select when you create your first campaign. So these are similar to the keywords that Lars talked about. And basically, these are phrases or expressions which people would actually search for when they want to find your business, like the ugly sweater example one. Then advertisers are bidding for opportunities. So they could be more than one advertiser selling ugly Christmas sweaters. And they are competing between each other, not only on how much they are willing to pay, but also on the quality of their website, the quality of the page, how users are interacting with it, whether they are finding it useful. We're using a lot of signals to find out whether actually this is a relevant ad, which is answering what the user is looking for, and they're likely to engage once they click on the ad with what's on this website, and they will find this solving their problem. And yeah, next slide, please. You will only pay when someone clicks on an ad. So this is something very important to understand. Google will not charge you if your ad is showing, let's say if you have, let's say, popular keywords, and there's a lot of people looking for this product right now around Christmas, like the sweaters. This does not mean that you will be charged every time that your ad will show. only when someone decides that this is relevant for them, they would like to learn more, they're interested in what you're offering, so they will click and go to the website. That's when you will be charged. If we go to the next slide. And how much you would pay? I think this is a typical question. This is determined, as I mentioned, on the quality of your advertisement and your bid. We call bid basically because there is a small mini auction happening every time there is a search on Google between the advertisers who are willing to show up on these search results. So imagine here this lady is bidding $5 for her to show in the search result for the same keyword, and this gentleman is bidding $3. Not always the one who is bidding highest is going to win the first position. This is important to understand. It's very much a balance between quality and willingness, of course, to invest. But if, let's say, the one who has the highest bid has also a high quality advertisement, wins the auction, she will not pay $5, which is her top bid. She will pay just 0.1 cent, just 1 cent over the person before them, because this is like second price auction. Basically, she will only have to pay enough to beat the advertiser who has lower score than her. So very rarely, actually, you would have to pay the full bid. What we have done actually with One.com is fully automated system, so you don't have to even think about bidding. It's all done based automatically on the keywords, on the relevancy of searches, and your goals. But this is just for you to understand how the process works. Next one, please. So we've made it very simple and very engaging in One.com for advertisers who are new to Google to start with their first campaign directly from the control panel. You don't need to find Google Ads and go through all the steps there. Everything can be done from One.com in one place where you manage your website. So if you go to the next one, you will find Google Ads in the services section of your control panel. You go to services, marketing, and go to Google Ads. You can see it's a popular location. Then what happens is you have to enter some information about your website. So your basically a website, what kind of company name, phone number. It's important to enter a number which you are willing to actually be called on for business, because basically this number will appear in the advertisements, and on mobile devices, people will be able to directly click on this number and call you. And you will be able to see statistics on how many people have called you from your advertising campaign. This is why it's important to choose a number that you are comfortable, someone is able to pick up and take business inquiries on this number. Then you select what kind of campaign you want, whether you're selling products online or services, or you're collecting leads, what basically type of online interactions you have, important for your business. And you can select your targeting. So here you can select the postcode around, let's say, your shop or office or physical location. Depending on the business, there are different, sometimes even a whole country could be relevant. But I would advise, especially for small business owners, to focus realistically on the area where they get most of their business from before expanding to more places, so that you are sure that the people who are seeing your ad are in the proximity, and they're likely the people that you are going to have business with. Finally, you select what kind of products you have, for example, bakery. And yeah, then we go to the next one. So based on this information, Google will actually generate several ads. And these ads, basically, the whole copy of the ads is pre-generated based on different themes like convenient, trustworthy, fast, well priced. You can select different business value, we call it. And of course, you can edit this content. I will definitely advise you to cross-reference and check whether this makes sense as an advertisement. Of course, it will change according to the language that you're using, and you will be able to edit it basically and to add some more information, make it sound well, make it sound unique. I think it's also important to include some keywords in this ad copy. If you go to the next slide, please, Les. Yep. So the next step is selecting keywords. So we will pre-select keywords which are relevant to what you told us about the business. And this is how they would look like. We don't recommend too short keywords which are, let's say, just bakery, because this might qualify for a lot of searches, and some of them might not be relevant to what you offer. So I would recommend you to include keywords like this type of length, maybe 2, 3, 4 words, which are relevant. You can deselect some of the themes or the keywords that you don't like. You can add some more, write some more yourself, and make sure that you also include these keywords, or at least some of them, in the copy of the advertisement as well. Normally, they would actually be part of the copy, but make sure that there is this connection between the keyword and what the ad is saying. And next one. So then your campaign is pretty much ready to go. If you like the ad, you can just go continue, select a plan. We have several different plans for monthly payments, which are from lowest to a bit higher to kind of a bigger advertiser. You can start with a lower package and then gradually move up. Or if you're already sure that you would like to spend some more for advertising, you can start from a higher package. And this will be used for your monthly advertisement for any time when someone clicks on your ad, based on the information that you provided us and the goals that you have set up for your website. Next one, please. What's new is that now we have very good analytics available for advertisers who launched their campaign. So you can see what were the results from what you spend, what did you get back, which is very important. So for example, you can set up phone calls to be actions, and let's say how much is a phone call worth to you. You can set up other actions like email inquiries or subscription to a newsletter, all kind of important actions that people are taking on your website and which are valuable to you. You can assign how much it is worth to you. Hypothetically, let's say every call is worth for me $100, for example, on average. And based on this, Google will actually estimate when it's important for you to get a call, whether it's important for you to get newsletters, subscription, etc. And here in this analytics, you'll be able to see what actions people took and what were the results from your campaign. And finally, the last slide, please. We have also a special offer. So if you are new to Google Ads, Google will match the amount you spend over the first 31 days up to 120 euro or similar amount in other countries which don't use the euro. It's basically translated in different currencies. Basically the next month of your spend, for example, if the first month you spend 120 euro, the second month you would also like to spend 120 euro, basically your second month will be free. It will be an automatic coupon which will be automatically applied. You don't need to do anything. It's just based on the first month, whatever you've spent up to this amount, it will be automatically allocated to your account. And that's all from my side. Looking forward to take more questions. Passing the virtual mic to Laz.
Thank you, Odelena. And thank you to all of you for listening to us. I hope that it has been helpful. Now to the special offers. We would like to offer free hosting beginner plan for 12 months if you're new at One.com. All you need to do is press this code, and don't worry, we will send you all this information so you don't have to write it down this minute. And if you're already a customer, you can upgrade to hosting or to a larger plan, and you'll get 70% off your first year price. And now it's time for Q&As. We've taken notes of all your questions and we will start answering them, and I will stop sharing. And I'm sorry again for not sharing accurately before. And I will quickly look at the questions. Oh my goodness, that was a lot. Okay, that's good. For Jesper, it would be good to have alternative to Stripe for payment since their transaction cost is very high.
Yes, and that's certainly something that we can look into. Even though that's not my, let's say, core area of expertise, of course, multiple options is always better.
Thank you. And we have another question. This is actually for Sarah, who is our head of customers. And Sarah, will you talk about the possibilities of using forms to collect permissions? Is there a CRM built in? And can you also create emails?
Hopefully, oh no, there's a secretary. Hold on. 1 sec. Wait. Check. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Sorry, technical difficulties. It's never easy, is it? Lovely to meet you all, and thanks for your question. So I'll come back to you directly on the CRM piece, but we do actually have an email newsletter tool that you can buy through One.com called UbiBox. So I'll send you a link to find out some more information about that tool if you'd be interested in it. Hope that's answered your question.
Okay, next question for Odelena. How does shopping campaigns and shopping ads work?
Great question. In the webinar, I didn't focus much on shopping, but this is also available now through the actually the web shop builder of One.com. So sometimes when you look for physical products on Google, you will see a number of small images of products, for example, shoes or boots, etc. So these are actually shopping ads and shopping free listings. And these work slightly different from the search ads, which I showed. They are specifically for advertisers who sell physical products. So if you're selling courses or books, this is not going to be for you, but more for e-commerce sellers. And basically through One.com, you can create a campaign, shopping campaign. So you can have both, actually. You can have a search keyword campaign and you have a shopping campaign. For this one, it's important, basically the information from your web shop on One.com will be translated into what we call feed of products. So this basically takes the image, the description of the product, the price, and will generate basically in a format which Google can read and add to the search results whenever someone is looking for a product like the one that you are selling. Basically, there is an option for you to appear just on as a free listing, which is basically just the cheapest option. Like we just have to generate basically this feed directly from your website, and it's automatically uploaded there. Or you can have also a paid advertisement, they will appear also on the same results, and will actually show on even more places in the search results, as well as on YouTube, remarketing, like different websites from the display network, if it is an advertisement. If it's a free listing, the cheapest option from what we can have on One.com, basically it will show only in the search results. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you. And then for Jesper, it would be good to have an extra status that if a thing in the web shop is on remote storage right now, it's only in stock or sold out. It does not look good on our website if a lot is sold out. If it is on a remote storage and the only difference is the shipping time.
Right. So I will definitely take that request. I think that's a fully meaningful request. So I'll take that into consideration for sure.
Thank you. And Odelena, when I launch a new website, should I focus on SEO or paid search?
That's a great question, and I think I would say both. As you saw that you can appear both in the SEO organic results and in the advertisement. The only thing is with SEO is that it's will take longer time. So I'll definitely encourage you to work on your SEO while you also advertise, so that you have some traffic to the website in the meantime. And once you, let's say, build your credibility with Google with organic results, and your results start to show in the first page, then you will be able to actually show at the same time with an ad and with an organic search result. So I would say both.
Great. I also got a question for, is there a quick fix for SEO? And just as Odelena said, there is not. Unfortunately, you have to work on that, but it's worth it in the end. And I'll just take one more question. Actually, if we get more, feel free, but I'll have one more. Where can I get stupid Christmas sweater? I would suggest you Google stupid Christmas sweater and either choose the ad or the organic result and find the stupid. I've never actually heard of a stupid Christmas sweater, but I guess there's a first time for everything.
I guess everyone's Googling this now.
Yeah, it's a great time. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Again, we hope that it's been helpful, and we will send all of this information to your emails, and you can just ask us questions back to the email we're sending it from, right? I think you can. Yes, you can, of course. Great. And we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.